Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Khoisan Talks. On this channel, we talk everything Khoisan, our culture, our spirituality, our social circles, and more. My name is Abiga. I'm a Khoisan girl from South Africa, Pacific Coast, Western Cape. Um, and I'm joined by my beautiful sister. I will allow her to introduce herself.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon if you log in tomorrow afternoon. Good morning if you log in early mornings. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. And thank God for this opportunity once again. And I'm from Namibia. I'm a Khoisan girl from Namibia. And welcome to our channel. And I hope that we will bring you more enlightenment. May God guide us. May God speak from us, through us to you, and may you, when we speak, may you hear God speak. Thank you, sis.
So, 2024, it's quite exciting time. We are living in a lot of local and national change. The superpowers now. Namibia, on Germany with the South Africa taking on Israel with the ICJ. Many other African countries seeking their independence. And the Khoisan have been seeking our independence. And not even independence, we've just been seeking uh, existence, our land, our culture, not even recognition, just uh, because in South Africa and in most of Southern Africa, years ago,
Yes,
the Khoisan has all kinds of other names except who are we as Khoisan in Namibia because we were classified as one nation after Krap, which is one country, always been one. But after the borders were put, South Africa and Namibia fell together. And the Khoisan started to be called colored. Didn't matter what part of the Khoisan nation you came from. If you were Khoisan, you were called either colored, that's the derogatory term that I remember, was a whatnot or Griqua. Today, when I want to, the thing that I was put down for being brown, being native, being indigenous, I'm now being denied. I'm reminded of the principal, probably the first person that his last name was Snyman. And in 2017, he applied for a teacher's position, principal's position. And we still have to fill in boxes, tick boxes. What are you? Are you African? Are you colored? Already there is a distinction because African color doesn't fall under African, Asian, Indian, white. And he ticked black because Khoisan are black. We are African. We are indigenous to the continent. And he was taken to court for the wrong box for saying that he's African. And so this has been the fight Khoisan has been having since Bartolomeus Diaz and the Portuguese first came to our shores, and started trading with us and then eventually started invading our nation. And it's interesting, it's always interesting to me when I speak to our Bantu brothers and talk
mm,
about colonization, and they seem to
mm,
forget that the Khoisan had been dealing with these foreigners for almost 200 years before our Bantu brethren ever got a hold or in contact. And Sarki Bartman. Kritawa, yang kan Ribia is a Khoisan history. It is not a history still. But many don't understand the difference between um, our different nations. They even deny our nature. And similar things happen in Namibia.
Yes.
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 So if you want to talk from that side, from the Namibian,
Mm. Yes, it's
because
basically it's the same as over there because it's like when you go to a social gathering or to okay, let me say when you go to the ministries and you have to go fill in an application form for a job, or you have to fill in a form for say for instance at the Ministry of Home Affairs. You have to we don't have the boxes colored black and white, but what we do have is the nationality.
mm,
And then you must obviously say you are a Namibian. But there is a section where you must say whether you are Oshivambo, which is a Bantu, or a Boer, which is a white person, or a colored or Bastard. So
mm,
before I wrote down colored, but now I will say Khoisan. Like last year, we had a census that was taken here in Namibia, and the man asked me, "What race are you?" I said, "I'm a Khoisan." He said, "But there's no space here for that. I have to tick
Khoisan.
it off." I said, "But you write that down, and if they ask you who wrote this, and then you say." Here's my number because they also took our cell phone numbers. And then I told him if they ask, you should just tell them that here's the number. You should call the lady and ask her yourself because I feel it's time for us to take ownership of what is ours, irrespective of the consequences, irrespective of what's right in their eyes and what is wrong in their eyes. We just need to do what's right for us. We need to take back, starting with ourselves. Familiarize ourselves with our culture and where we are coming from. And I usually walk among people, and the idea I get is they have this thing that if you are Khoisan, your hair is just like mine. So it's usually not like that. It's like our colored people, our pastor people, which they give that derogatory names, have straight hair. But they are, if you go take the DNA, uh, it's going back to the first people, which is the indigenous people, the Khoisan people. And some bastard people, you will find a nice bastard lady, and you will see her features, the way her body is the way that how our Khoisan people were built or is built. And some will say she's a proud Nama lady, which origin is Khoisan. And she would say, "No, I'm a proud Nama lady. I've got Nama blood." And then you will find a few of us will say no, they prefer colored. But I think the reason why they don't accept that they are Khoisan is just because they don't know enough. They don't know of who they are. They don't know enough of what it actually is to be Khoisan. For us Khoisan people, it's proud. I understand it more now that I did some research. I understand it more. And thank you so much to God. Thank you, sis, for the enlightenment. And I'm so proud to know that we are proud people. We are not violent people. Khoisan people are not violent people. We love and still like to share. We are people who will. I told someone the other day that my grandmother, the elders, they never cooked. They never announced that there's guests coming. Never. They never announced. There were some here and there they would have announced, but most of the times they will just tell you. Usually, when you are used to cooking 2 packets of meat, that day they will tell you cook 4 packets. That's how we
Mm,
know guests are coming. Yes. They will also tell you that put extra potatoes in, cook extra rice, make extra bread. That's how we know. We
mm,
will, we Khoisan people are generous people. We like, and it's not because
mm, mm,
they accepted us. They always pushed us to one side,
mm.
taking things. The Khoisan understood that not everything should be taken.
Yeah.
Everything was for consumption.
Mm,
And my Bantu children come and eat things that must not be eaten. And here in my local community, I school the young boys and girls on their culture and where they are coming from. Although their parents, some of the parents don't like it, but it's time for us to tell the truth about where we're coming from and so that the land can be healed. That's just my point of view, sis.
mm. It's interesting because, like we were discussing the ICJ right now, so that Africa is taking Israel to the ICJ for um, the illegal eviction of the natural inhabitants of their land. And here in South Africa, have no rights to our land. We have no rights to make. We have no right to our language. There's no Khoisan history being taught any school. If Khoisan is correlation, person needs to be taught that is a Khoisan or a color, and the history, if there's no correlation, then two are the same group. So when our children hear about the Khoisan history, they don't recognize that this is their history. And so we go and we re-explain it to them. Yes, this is Khoisan, but you are Khoisan. The term colored was given to us. As a matter of fact, during apartheid, Chinese in South Africa were colored. Yet they are not anything. It never meant Khoisan. Colored is just another derogatory. Somebody with my skin color, with my hair type, with my genealogy, with my ancestry. You see? And so to classify a Chinese as a colored already exclude the fact that the colored and is somehow, I don't even know what colored means to them. It doesn't even make
Mm,
sense when you try to explain the truth. Because what is my inheritance, my heritage got to do with a Chinese person? You know, they got their right as Chinese. I should get my rightful heritage as indigenous. But the reason why this is really clear for everybody to understand, the reason why they don't want to give us the right to who we are is because of land. and ownership and rulership. Because once they classify or once they give the Khoisan the inheritance or the colored back, the person that they called colored back the inheritance as a Khoisan, then the
Mm.
Bantus had to all move to their to the lands that was given to them by the Khoisan. In South Africa,
Yes.
that is so that is KwaZulu Natal, Johannesburg, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, were all that side. The rest of South Africa was all Khoisan. The Cape Point, right up to I would say even Kimberley, even to up Kimberley, you hear the people speak Afrikaans there, not just because of the word that spoke. The Khoisan adapted this language, Afrikaans, and as a
Yes.
matter of fact, when the Dutch first came here, we had to liaise with these people, with the
Yes.
we had to liaise with these people, speak with these people. And so that African, um, that Afrikaans that we talk is an indigenous Khoisan way of speaking to these people. We invented the language. We took from whoever was coming to trade with us, whether it was the
Yes.
Asian, whether it was the Portuguese, whether it was the Dutch, whether it was the Germans, all of that was incorporated into this mengelmoes. Can I put it like that? This
Yeah.
of language, this one language,
Mm. Mm.
which is Afrikaans. Wat is
Yeah.
die taal wat ons wat wil hoor hoe klink hierdie Afrikaans? Dis hoe die
Yeah.
Afrikaans klink.
Yeah.
Whenever you this Afrikaans has a particular slang. If you come to the Western Cape, West Coast, South Coast, where my tribes are, then we talk a particular slang of Afrikaans. You go to Namibia, they talk a particular slang. You go to the Karoo, they talk, but it is all a language that we incorporate because we was trading, we were speaking with this, we created the language.
Mm.
You see,
Sis, sis,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. I just want to tell the viewers that our electricity in the certain area where I'm staying is off. So I had to
yes,
come sit outside. I had to
yes.
come sit outside, and hopefully we hope the light would be on by now, but it's not back yet. So it's
So
something
you
to do with a network where I'm at the coastal side. So they are busy preparing or repairing. Sorry, busy repairing some things in the street. So please bear with me, and I'm so sorry. Yeah.
another thing that I also find where they argue with us, argue point, is the Khoisan that are in the deserts and the Khoisan that stayed in the cities. And so a lot of Bantus don't understand that we all started somewhere here. Our biggest coastal lands, our biggest villages was in Cape Town, was in Cape Town, where the castle when Jan van Riebeeck and his ilk came here, colonized them, we were nomads. So from one place to another place when we farmed, we would never use up the land, invade the land. We always need to give the land because our land is huge. We had enough space. We could move.
Mm,
And
yeah.
in southern Africa, it's not every climate that you can find. But when it came time to move, the that Jan van Riebeeck in particular, he put up a fort on our biggest land space. One of our biggest land space was Milnerton, Mowbray. It is right next to the Lisbeek River, one of the biggest or one of the rivers that we used to for whatever, whether it was farming or whether it was our cattle. And Jan van Riebeeck came, and when we moved, when it was time for us to move away to set up place elsewhere, these people came, these thieves came, and this is what they are, thieves, because they came when we were not inhabiting the space, because we were nomads. By then they had studied us, how we were moving, and
mm,
when we came back, they had set up a fort. And that fort is still here. You can still read about it. Those who are interested, it's called the Table. And to deny the koi in the city or close to the coast or in the vicinity that we are and say that no, it is only those people that live in the Karoo, that live in the desert, because that is lie and fallacy. These people, if you read history, they were literally chased away when all of this was happening, when our lands was taken away from us, when we were murdered, and there was not a Bantu to come and help us. None of them came to our aid. You must remember this. And so it's always been kind of, I believe, the history, Southern history between the Bantu and the Khoi. And the reason why this is why we are being denied. They tell us we are mixtures with Asia, we have mixtures with Bantu, we have mixtures with we are not absolute hogwash.
mm, mm.
Genetically, it doesn't make sense. Um, uh, history and the way the fact, just the majority, the way, the amount of us that there are, cannot suffice for this palace history that we are told. And it is time for the Khoisan, or those who um, call themselves colored, to realize what is happening with us, what's happening with our nations. We are basically
And,
lost.
and you know, sis, I've noticed that us Khoisan, which they call the colored, we we are very on our own, doing our own thing. We don't wait for the government for handouts.
Yes,
We don't, we
yes,
build our own wealth, we build our own businesses, we we make our own plans. I've realized that I was thinking the other day that I I realized that we are actually doing our own thing because we realize that no one is going to rescue us. Not that we need rescue, but no one is actually looking out for us.
people don't
Yeah,
even know we
exist.
people,
So
and
I think, yeah, we have to make it known that we have to, like the other day, I've read something on Facebook, and this young man was saying South African bastards and South African colored people are out there proud of being Khoisan, and here is the Namibian people denying where they are coming from. And I'm like, what?
mm,
Here I am. And I commented on his post and I said, but here I am. I'm a proud Khoisan woman. And I'm not only Khoisan from Namibia. My mother's DNA goes back to Cape Town. And so I realized that maybe he's talking the truth. Maybe he observed, he picked it up. And I told him to change the way he's putting it out there, but to make the people more aware of their so-called pastors, colored people. Encourage us, encourage us Do more research on us to know us because we are known for being pushed back in a corner, stay there. But we don't go and sit still. We create our own happiness. We create our own jobs. Yeah.
It's quite sad because right in both of our countries, Namibia and South Africa, um, we are ruled by Bantu nations. And it is
Mm.
extremely hard for somebody who is seen as a colored person to get work, to get housing, to get loans, to get because we are not seen as African. We are seen as other, foreigner in our native land. This is
Mm.
our Khoisan native land, and yet I have no um, um, uh, any influence, no, when it comes to being African, because the very nature of me is being denied, and we need to change that. As South Africans, we need to change that. As the Khoisan, as the colored that like the colors, and I really don't like that word, but just so that people know what
Can
I'm
understand. Yes.
saying. Yes, this is a derogatory term. It is like calling a black man a negro, a kafir, or whatever derogatory term. It's the
Mm.
same calling me this, and yet and to take it and to bow to that. That is insane.
Mm.
That is insane. And so I hope that those who are watching our channel, somebody messaged and said to me, "Oh, you must be colored." It's a point where it is starting to be. It's rude.
Mm.
It's little
Mm.
to call somebody that and to say to deny somebody who they are. It is the same thing the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians, and yes, South Africa is fighting for the Palestinians, and here us natives. Last week, a young girl in many of our communities, gangsterism, because of the dynamics of how we were put up, thrown somewhere without resources, without anything. Is something that we really struggle with here in South
Mm.
Africa. And a young schoolgirl, 12 years old, last week was shot through the head in gang violence, a stray bullet. And there's nothing being done. There's no news about it, um, no cover at all, as if we do not matter, as if we do not exist, as if our lives are worth nothing. 12-year-old girl, in our community, gunned down. And a lot of people would say, oh no, that is your own community shooting. But it's the circumstances that we are in. It is the economic, social circumstances that the Khoisan find themselves. We, with every year, we are put down more and more and more, being excluded from this country. And it is native to us. It is, I'm Aboriginal to this country, and yet I have no rights. I'm not even seen as African. So I hope and I pray that people soon, that the Khoisan dead or gone, and that the Khoisan are still here, and we still have the right to exist and have ownership over our land and our culture and our fight, our resistance to this oppression that is happening over the Khoisan nation in Southern Africa.
Yes, of course. I have to tell you that for me personally, it's getting not too much in a sense of I'm scared or anything. I'm getting fed up
For a lot of
because
us.
because I think the reason they still want to call us colored is because it's like you are colored, you are colored, you are colored. And I realize that it's about their insecurities. It's about their insecurities. It has nothing to do with me being colored, but it has with me, everything to do with me being the First Nation. I realize that because you are scared. You are scared because I am waking up and I am taking back, claiming, and not even claiming, taking back what is mine. And nothing is going to stop me.
Mm.
That is what I want to leave behind. When I pass
I,
on one day, that my people will know that I fought till the very end for my people's freedom,
mm,
for the land
mm.
to be theirs finally. Because I
It's like,
watched a documentary here in Namibia of this white people that have land, and one minister, he passed on now. He was a Oshiherero man. He said you could build 15,000 soccer stadiums on one white person's farm. That's how big that farm is. I can't remember the acres. He gave it through, but I can't remember it. He said 15,000 soccer stadiums can be built on that farm. Now, what are you doing with so much land?
stolen
Because,
land.
and he
Stolen.
was that specific one white guy. He's a German guy. They asked him on media for the papers, and his answer was, "I've got nothing to answer to you. I don't have to answer you.
That is
So
the
you don't
arrogance.
even have. They don't even have the paper to show us." And so the government, our black people, are covering for these people, for these thieves, like you just stated earlier,
Mm, mm.
because they
That's
get
all.
something. Yes. So that's quite sad. We've got so, like I said in the previous podcast, we are 2.78 people in Namibia, million. We can, each of us can own our own land to build our houses, and each of us within each household can own a farm. That's how much land we have in Namibia. But hey, we have to pay for everything. So it's quite frustrating at times, I have to say. It's quite frustrating. For a person like
Poison.
me who hates I hate injustice. I hate it so much.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. It's they came here, stole our land. Thieves is what they are. Murdered us, put us into slaves, into chains. Um, this fight that the Khoisan has been going on for the last 600 years. Years we've been fighting this fight of our land and us being pushed back and our land being taken, us being
Mm.
read about Sarki and a lot of people know Tower. This is a Khoisan girl. Southern Africa is
mm, mm,
Africans. We understand the importance of our ancestors. As an African, say to another African, your ancestors means nothing. This goes deeper than just calling me a colored. This is the
mm. Yeah.
Bantus and the Europeans wanted to go down this. So that's all I have to say for tonight, sis. I think our time is up.
Yeah.
You are literally, your face is the light that shows on the camera. I love it. I love it.
Mm,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I hope most of all that our people find out about these and who they
mm, mm, mm. So help us, God. Help us, God.
are. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to make loads more videos. We're going to keep this going for as long as we can. Keep the fight, keep the good fight going for our nation, for our right Africa.
Thank you for tonight. Thank you. Guide us through all truth, and may we find our roots. Honestly find our truth. May God be more merciful on us. God is already merciful on us, but may God be more merciful on us. To open our minds and our hearts to accept who we are. Thank you, Father, for me, my sister, and the rest being alive at this time, at this age, because things are happening and that we could be alive to see it. So may God guide you and protect you, dear viewers. My sis, thank you for the show. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank God for everything. I say. Thank you, sis.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. For everybody who's watching, we send peace and blessings. We send good health, good fortune,
I say.
protection, and love.
I
And
say.
love. And most
Thank you,
of
Father.
love. Most of
Thank you,
all.
Father.
Bye-bye, everybody. We'll speak soon. Bye, sis.
Bye. Bye.